Greetings and welcome to TH412 Comparative Confessions, Session 5 on Eastern Orthodoxy. This is video number 2, where I will just give a brief overview of the study guide and the questions we will be looking at in our class session together. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the study guide here. So in our seminar, we're going to be going over specifically the questions that I gave you from Schaff and from Manteuffel. However, if you have the time at all, I would highly encourage you to read briefly the extra readings on the material and formal principle and the brief summary of the Filioque as well. So question number 1 asks, why does Manteuffel say there is much to commend in the Orthodox tradition? Now, he says that towards the beginning of your assignment in the Churches in America text. But he says there is much to commend in the Orthodox tradition. Okay. Why does he say that? What does it matter? And how is that helpful? And what are the limitations of that? Question number 2 is one of the questions I used as an example in the previous video, and it asks, how does the Orthodox tradition use 1 Timothy 3:15, and why does it matter? So Manteuffel is going to point out how they use 1 Timothy 3:15 in order to justify the source of their doctrine as being both scripture and sacred tradition. So you need to make sure that you understand how they're using it and why it matters. Which really leads into question number 3. What is the Orthodox understanding of apostolic tradition as it's presented in Manteuffel and the other readings? Question number 4 is asking to contrast the Orthodox way of salvation with Lutheran teaching on the subject. Okay, so where are the major differences? Now, I think when we discuss question number 1, what we're going to find is there are a lot of similarities as well. But in question number 4, we want to talk about the differences. Question number 5 is asked, do you see any inconsistencies with the Orthodox teaching of the way of salvation and their practice of a threefold immersion for baptism? Part of that is including the Eucharist being given to children. Okay. I'm asking you to examine that and see if you find any inconsistencies. If you do, what are they? And why are they inconsistencies? But maybe you don't. Maybe you can make a case for why it's not. I'm open to hearing that case. I think that would be an interesting case to make. In fact, there is a Lutheran church here in Riga that I know for a fact, because I've preached there, communes infants through tincture. Very interesting. Never encountered that ever until I came here. What implications, number 6, do you see arising from the Orthodox teaching on the church? Okay, this is just exploring some of the differences and seeing what those implications are. What are the strengths and weaknesses of the Orthodox view of the liturgy? As most of you probably know, the Orthodox take the liturgy very, very seriously. So there's strengths there. There's also potential weaknesses. What are they? What is your understanding of the Orthodox use of icons? And how do you view them? Now, I recognize now as I say that out loud that there's a double entendre on view, as though you're viewing the icons. But the idea here is, how do you view the Orthodox use of icons? What is your take on them? So that is the study guide.